Hello everybody and welcome to DanMachi 2 episode 11 anime review. So, yeah, it looks like we're going to end on a bit of a weird note because this is a side story. If you aren't aware, Volume 8 is like 4 or 5 different side stories. So, I guess we're just taking the last one and putting it into Season 2. Don't know what we're going to do with the other 4 because Season 3 would be the next 3 books, roughly. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine too, but I'm just explaining. So I guess OVAs exist, they could do that. That's probably a thing they might do actually. Do that, that'd be good. Stick all of the other ones in an OVA and release it as like a mini-series in between seasons. There's an idea, great for you. But anyway, let's get on to the episode. A lot lower stakes than previous arcs. Definitely lower stakes. Even though I said lower stakes, the episode opens up making you think it's going to be pretty bad mental stakes. So the city, Aurario, is being attacked by I forgot their name. It's Ares familiar. But the problem is, they're a bit crap, is the problem. Ares familiar, not very good. Loki familiar and Freya familiar just dealing with them without much trouble really. So, But enough of that, back inside the city. Aisha says goodbye to Haruhime and goes off to be a prostitute, I guess. Haruhime is now in Hestia Familia. She's just chilling with the crew, I guess. It turns out also, they mentioned this, Haruhime never actually banged anyone. She was a bad prostitute. So, chasticity, I can't say that word. You know the word I mean. That one. She's got that still, that's good. Belle goes to meet Hermes to thank him for everything and all that. And Hermes tells him essentially the end game. He's like, hey, there's these 3 great quests and there's a black dragon roaming the land and we need to deal with that. It wiped out Zeus and Hera Familia. At some point we need someone to deal with that. See you in about 10 to 15 books, Belle. So that's basically it. Thanks, Hermes. And then poor Ares can't comprehend why he's losing. Like, he's just like, I don't understand. We've got so many people. And they're like, but they're crap, my dude. they're not very good. So yeah, hopefully Ares has got a better plan. Well, he does, but that's later on, so I'm not gonna say it yet. Good old Ares. He's funny because he's such a stupid idiot. Is to put it bluntly. He's just a stupid idiot. Haruhime's doing the laundry, and Belle rocks up and like picks up some panties. Then Hestia's like, boys and girls, no more contact, because, and that of course she had to call a meeting for that because that's very important. And then she changes it. She's like, fine, just no flirting. Mikoto and Welf are both like, can we bang our old gods and goddesses? And Hestia's like, you know what, that's a good idea, that's fine. Then Hestia asks Belle, what would you do if a goddess confessed to you? He's like, oh no, I'd say no, because they're a goddess. And Hestia gets mad because of course she does. So I'm not sure if you're aware of this from watching the show. She might like Belle, you know. I'm not sure. Maybe someone should double check that. I'm not too sure on that. And the others chastise Belle for being inconsiderate, and he was a bit inconsiderate. He was like, "Oh, I did a silly. Oof, poor Belle, poor Hestia, poor Belle as well. He didn't mean it. He's an anime protagonist. That's the only word for him. He is an anime protagonist." A bunch of people from Aurario go to see Ares Familia to just sell them, basically rip them off and get a lot of money out of them, including the Aisha and the prostitutes and that. Ares' genius new plan is, I'm going to go to Aurario myself and capture a god to use them as a ransom. And his assistant is like, let's not do that, that's a terrible idea, but it's too bad, he's gone off already. Belle's searching for Hestia. He runs into Miak and Hephaestus, and he asks them, he's like, hey, do gods fall in love with people? And they're like, yeah, that's a thing that could happen. And they tell him not to run away with a goddess. You say whatever you want, but just don't run away. And he's like, okay, I've got a plan. Well, he doesn't have a plan, but he should have a plan. Then angry Hestia shouting, she gets dragged into doing work and heads outside the city where she gets kidnapped by Ares. His plan worked somehow. By a very big coincidence, his plan worked. There's no way they would have made it if if it wasn't for Hestia being in a mood, I guess. So yeah, I guess Good job, Aries. You get 1 point. Bell runs into Eyes, who tells him, you need to come. And so he finds out Hestia was taken. Eyes is like, I'll go save her. Bell's like, I'll come too. And then Hermes shows up and it's like, I'll help as well. Asphy can find her by flying. So then Eyes and Bell traverse the land to find her. Eyes catches up. They catch up. Eyes has a bit of fighting. Bell sneaks behind. Hestia falls off the mountain, and Bell and Eyes jump after her. And that's where we ended the episode. So, if I'm remembering right, I don't want to spoil. I won't spoil it. Another thing to note: this episode seemed to have some pretty wonky animation at points. I know JC staff, but it seemed wonkier than normal. Like normally it's just meh. This week I was like, there were just parts where I was like, something doesn't seem right. And to be fair, I'm glad it was this arc that got the less polished stuff than the other two, because this is the one I care the least about. But it would have been nice if they were more consistent, you know? Especially because there wasn't that much like fighting really either. Maybe it was just me. It was probably fine, I'm overthinking it, but I definitely noticed something was up, so yeah. But anyway, that was the end of the episode. It was good, you know. When I figured out what they were doing, I was like, because this is actually one of my least favourite of the side stories in Volume 8. There's a couple I like more, so bit gutted they weren't animated, but this is probably the most is it the most important one? It's the most fitting one for the ending of the season, I guess. But I still would have liked the others. I hope they do get animated at some point, because they made that Hot Springs episode as an OVA. The other stuff's way better. Do that next. But yeah, I can't think of much else to say. We got the season finale next week. That's going to be good, hopefully. That should be alright. But yeah, I'll end this episode here because I can't think of much else to say. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews because there's a lot of anime in the world. I will see you next week, and bye guys.